everyone! Today we're going to go over clapping and identifying our notes and rhythms, adding in the 8 notes that we practiced last time. So let's get started. So I'm going to identify the notes first. So let's get started with that. So we know that the first one is middle C. The next one up is going to be D. We go up to E, up F, up to G, up to A, then we go up to B, up to C, going down to B, up to C, down to B, down to A, down to G, down to F, down to E, down a step to D, and down a step to middle C. We have the same note, up a step, down a step, we go up a step, up a step, up to G, up to A, back down to G, we got a gag in there, back up to A, oh gaga, that works too, down to G, down to F, down to E, back up to F, down to E, down to D, and we end on middle C, which is where we started, right? So with rhythms, I'm gonna only write the numbers above the ones that are 8 notes so that we kind of get used to just identifying them and seeing them a little easier than the others. So I'm gonna get started. So we are in 4/4 time, meaning there are 4 beats per measure and the quarter note gets the beat. We'll get more into detail with time signatures a little later. Now, really quickly, this is 1 beat, right? So we have 1, and we know that this is beat 2. So I'm gonna write 2, because it's the 8th note, right? So we count that off as 2 and, talked about it last time, but just reviewing. And they are each worth half of a beat. When you put half of a cookie and half of a cookie together, you get a whole cookie, right? So 2 half beats make 1 beat. So that's why we say 2 and. All right, now 3, 4. Then we go 1, up, back to 2, and, right? And we have a half note here, so 3, 4, 1, beat 2 again. And again, we have the and. Another half note, so 3, 4, 1, beat 2. We had a pretty good pattern going there. So we have 4 of those in a row on beat 2. And then the last one would be 3, 4. I'm gonna again leave those off. Beat 1, 2, 3, beat 4 this time. And 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, beat 2, and 3, 4. 1, beat 2, and 3, 4. So we have a pattern for the most part in this particular exercise. A lot of them are on beat 2. So that kind of makes it an easier pattern to learn. So let's try to see if we could do this together. I'll count you off and we'll go nice and slow. So we'll go like this. So 1 and 2 and ready and go. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I hope that makes sense. Doing it 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I counted just by eighth notes so that we can understand just how long we have to wait per beat. I might try this a little bit quicker here a little bit later, but for right now I want to stick to that tempo because I feel like that's pretty quick already, getting used to it, trying to practice. So let's do the next one. So let's identify the notes here first. So we have middle C, up to D, up to E. I'm hoping this is getting much easier. Up to G, same note, F, up to G, up to A, up to B, up to C. We got the same note here, C, same note. I love when that happens. Down to B, down to A, down to G, back up to A, back down to G, down to F, down a step to E, up a step to F, down a step to E, down a step to D, and we end on C. Nice, easy pattern we usually start and end on. Okay, so we are in 3/4 time signature, meaning there are 3 beats per measure, and the quarter note gets the beat. The 4 tells you the quarter note gets the beat, and 3 tells you how many beats there are. Now, we're going to go over this really quickly. So again, same thing I did with the last exercise. So I'm going to only put the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 ands over the ones that are eighth notes to just kind of get us used to seeing them and knowing how to clap them out when we do that. So let's try it. So we know that we start on 1, right? 1 and then we've got 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and so now we back to 1. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. Then we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and beat 2 again. 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 all the way through. So 1, 2, and 3. So we'll be clapping them out with the same rhythm and counting as we did with the last exercise. So let's try to do that together. I'll go nice and slow. So we'll go 1 and 2 and 3 and go. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and. All right, that was a little slow, but I wanted to really emphasize the points of the eighth notes. So I hope you did well. Thank you for participating with me, and I will see you next time.